Karen tried to shut down barbecue, but police found she'd rigged the propane tank. The summer air hung thick with the scent of charcoal and sizzling burgers, the kind of evening where laughter and clinking glasses should have woven a tapestry of community. In the heart of Willow Creek, Marcus Green's annual barbecue was a tradition, a backyard haven where neighbors shed their daily masks and became family. Kids darted through sprinklers, old folks swapped stories, and the grill's glow promised unity. But this year, the warmth was fractured by a shadow named Karen Walsh. Karen, with her crisp blouses and perpetually pinched lips, was the neighborhood's self-appointed guardian of standards. She'd spent years filing complaints. Too loud music, untrimmed hedges, kids' bikes left on lawns. Her clipboard was her scepter, her petitions her decrees. To her, Marcus's barbecue was a blight, an unruly gathering that defied her vision of suburban perfection. She'd warned him last year, "This chaos won't stand." Marcus, a burly man with a heart as warm as his grill, had laughed it off, offering her a burger. She'd stormed away, vowing to end it. This time, Karen arrived armed. Clipboard in hand, she marched to Marcus's backyard, her heels sinking into the grass. The music stopped as she raised her voice, reading from a petition signed by a handful of her loyalists. "This event violates noise ordinances and endangers public safety," she declared, her eyes glinting with triumph. Marcus, wiping grease from his hands, stepped forward, his voice low but firm. "Karen, this is my home. These are my friends. You don't get to dictate joy." The crowd murmured, tension coiling like smoke. Lila, Marcus's 19-year-old niece, stood nearby, her phone recording the scene. She'd always seen Karen as a caricature, a nosy busybody, but now she sensed something darker in her aunt's neighbor. "Just leave, Karen," Lila said, her voice shaking. "You're embarrassing yourself." Karen's gaze snapped to her, venomous. "You'll regret that, little girl." As the argument escalated, a new figure emerged from the crowd, Mr. Hensley, a quiet widower who rarely left his porch. His hands trembled as he held up a crumpled letter. "Karen sent this to my landlord," he said, his voice cracking. "She claimed my dog's barking was a nuisance. Got me fined. I had to give him up." The crowd gasped, eyes turning to Karen, who faltered but quickly doubled down. "Rules are rules," she snapped. "You all flaunt them." The twist hit like a spark. Mr. Hensley's confession wasn't just a grievance, it was a revelation. Karen's crusade wasn't about order. It was personal. She'd targeted Marcus's barbecue because it symbolized everything she couldn't control: joy, connection, freedom. Her complaints had already cost neighbors pets, peace, and pride. Now she wanted to burn down their happiness entirely. Marcus's face darkened. "You've gone too far, Karen. This ends now." He turned to the crowd, raising his spatula like a gavel. "Who's with me?" Cheers erupted, but Karen wasn't done. She sneered, stepping toward the grill. "You think this is over? You're wrong." She reached for the propane tank, her fingers brushing a loose wiry wire that didn't belong. Lila screamed, "Stop her!" Marcus lunged, pulling Karen back just as a neighbor, a retired firefighter named Tom, inspected the tank. His face paled. "This isn't right," he muttered, tracing the wire to a makeshift device. "She's rigged it to leak. One spark, and this whole yard could have gone up." The crowd froze, the weight of Karen's betrayal sinking in. She'd planned to frame Marcus's barbecue as a disaster, to justify her crusade with a catastrophe of her own making. Gasps turned to shouts as neighbors surrounded her, demanding answers. Karen's smug facade crumbled, her clipboard slipping to the grass. "I just wanted order," she whispered, but no one listened. Police sirens wailed in the distance, summoned by Tom's quick call. As officers cuffed Karen, her eyes met Marcus not with defiance, but with a hollow, bitter defeat. The crowd stood silent, the joy of the barbecue replaced by a chilling realization. Their neighbor, their supposed guardian, had been willing to risk their lives for control. Lila, still clutching her phone, uploaded the video online. By morning, it had spread across Willow Creek and beyond, exposing Karen's vendetta. The comments were a storm of outrage and disbelief, but some defended her, citing community standards. Marcus, exhausted, sat on his porch as the sun rose, staring at the now-cold grill. Mr. Hensley joined him, offering a quiet nod. "You stood up to her," he said. "That's something." The aftermath was bitter. Karen faced charges for tampering and endangerment, but the neighborhood was scarred. Trust, once the heartbeat of Marcus's BBQs, felt fragile. Lila, replaying the video, wondered if she'd been too quick to share it, amplifying the division. Marcus, though, saw a flicker of hope. "We'll grill again," he told her. "Not to forget, but to heal." The story of Karen's betrayal lingered, a cautionary tale of control gone toxic. It wasn't just about a barbecue or a rigged tank, it was about community, fractured by one woman's obsession and salvaged by those who refused to let it burn. As Willow Creek rebuilt, the question hung heavy. Where does justice lie when neighbors turn on each other? Share your thoughts: what's right, what's wrong, and how do we mend a broken community?